Hey there, and welcome back to the Heart Set Above podcast, where therapy meets theology and where we wrestle with the messiness of life with a heart set above. In a recent session, a client shared a heartbreak that so many parents know too well. Through tears, my client said, "My son isn't a believer, and it breaks my heart. Our relationship suffers because of it. He gets frustrated whenever I mention God or even when I pray for him to come to faith. But what should I be praying for?" It's deeply painful when our children don't walk the path that we long for them to take. Of course, we cling to the truth that their story isn't over, that God is still moving in their life, but that doesn't erase the ache of the weight. Many parents feel stuck, fearful, and unsure of what to pray when hope feels fragile. If that's you, here's the best encouragement I can offer. Remember that you are God's child before you are your child's parent. Yes, your child's salvation matters to you and to God. But just as God is pursuing your child's heart, He's also always pursuing yours. He's wooing your child at every turn, but He's also drawing you closer to Him, even in the wait. So don't stop praying for your child, but also ask, how is God refining me in this? How is He inviting me into deeper trust and surrender and intimacy with Him? Let this season not only be about your child's journey toward God, but also about your own. Here's a few guiding prayers to help you on this journey. Number 1, God, let me see you in this. Pray to see glimpses of God's work in your child's life, even in the smallest moments. Ask for reminders of His sovereignty and grace. This prayer isn't just about comfort, but about a reminder of who ultimately holds control. It's a perspective-giving prayer. It invites God to replace your need to control with a spirit of surrender, helping you to rest in Him and in His timing. Number 2, let me really see my child in this. This prayer is about cultivating genuine connection. While you and your child may not share the same beliefs, love and respect can bridge many gaps. Ask God to help you really see your child, not through a lens of fear and panic, but through His eyes. Pray to notice the God-given qualities that your child has, even if those qualities are not being used for godly pursuits in this moment. When we see our child with both truth and compassion through the eyes of God, we're better equipped to love them where they are. And this allows you and your child to have deep love, respect, and connection together, even through differing beliefs. Number 3, let my child really see my heart in this. Parenting isn't about perfection. You won't say or do everything right. Mistakes are inevitable. Pray that God would cover over those missteps and allow your child to see your genuine heart, even when your words or actions fall short. Ask that even if your words fail, your child would feel your love and your longing for deep connection with them. Number 4, let my child be a truth seeker, no matter where it leads. This is a wise prayer that my own parents prayed over me and my siblings. It wasn't that we would inherit their faith, but that we would genuinely seek capital T truth wherever it might take us. This prayer releases our desire to see our children mirror our beliefs and surrenders them to God. It's a faith-filled request that acknowledges God's ability to reveal Himself through any path in His own way. Number 5, God, help me surrender. We can't bring our children to God through sheer will. Only God can reach and change a heart. This prayer is a plea for perspective, a reminder that while we may play a part in our child's journey, it's ultimately in God's hands. It's a prayer that moves us from fear-driven control to faith-filled surrender. When we relinquish the burden of saving our children by our own hand, we find freedom and strength to love them fully, allowing God to pursue them in a way that He deems best. Surrender is not passive. It's an active, intentional process that requires deep work. It means grieving what feels lost, confronting fear head-on, and shifting your perspective to trust God's greater plan. True surrender isn't about giving up, shutting down, or pretending not to care, and it's far more challenging than clinging to fear-based control. But it's a lot more effective and a lot more freeing. Choosing surrender is choosing to engage fully with God, to wrestle with Him in the waiting, and to release your grip, not out of resignation, but out of faith. It's a hard but holy work, one that will refine you, stretch you, and ultimately draw you closer to the heart of one who loves your child even more than you do. Number 6, give me wisdom and discernment. While surrender is crucial, you still have an influential role in your child's faith journey. There is a time for everything. So pray for discernment to know when to speak and when to be silent, when to act and when to be still. Balancing influence without overstepping is challenging, and it requires constant wisdom from God. Ask Him to guide you in each interaction so that your words and actions stem from a place of love and respect, not fear or desperation. That is never how God calls us to love. And finally, number 7, let my measure of success be to love my child according to your standards, God. As parents, it's easy to measure our success by our children's choices, assuming that if we were doing things right, they would follow the path that we long for them to take. But true success isn't found in their responses. It's found in our faithfulness to love as God has called us to love. Our measure of success is always determined by God, not by the outcome of our words or actions. So pray for the strength to love your child well, with compassion, with respect, and a heart that seeks to fully see and understand them. Ask God to help you validate their experiences, to apologize when needed, and to be both firm and gentle in your truth-telling. God's standard isn't for us to control outcomes. It's for us to reflect His love, even when that love is misunderstood or unappreciated. These prayers are not just about asking God to work in your child's life, but about surrendering your own heart to His refining process. These prayers invite you to trust in God's sovereignty, to lean on His peace, and to remember that though the journey may be messy, He is always with you, gently turning your eyes back to Him. So as you wait, may you find hope in God's power to reach your child in ways that you just can't. And may you too be transformed in the process. Just like Colossians 1:11 says, may you be strengthened with all power according to God's glorious might, so that you may have great endurance and patience as you turn to God, even in the agony of the wait. My prayer for you is that this time of waiting will not be wasted, but that it will draw you nearer to your heavenly parent, the one who is always pursuing, always loving, always working in your child, yes, but also in you. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time.